Hello YouTube and fellow Star Wars collectors! On this episode of Toys Are the Way, we'll be taking a look at another character from the first wave of vintage collection figures for 2024, the Phase 1 Clone Trooper from Attack of the Clones. If you're new to the channel or a fan of Star Wars collecting, be sure to smash a like on this video, remember to subscribe, and make sure to ring that bell to stay notified. And a special thank you to my channel members, your support is greatly appreciated. Welcome back, gang. So here we have the fourth and last character from the recent wave of vintage collection figures that's kicking off 2024, and it is the Phase 1 Clone Trooper from Attack of the Clones. Now, we are very familiar with clone releases in the vintage collection, and we have seen quite a number of them over the past couple years using the VC45 mold, which is now pretty outdated when compared to this lovely new Clone Trooper that we've been seeing in the past few releases. The only problem has really been some consistency with the helmets. I think we're moving in the right direction with going with swappable heads, but unfortunately this release does have a bit of an issue. But we are definitely going to fix that in this video, and with that being said, let's take a closer look at the figure and the packaging. Taking a look at the card back, we have our wonderful vintage style packaging with the Phase 1 Clone Trooper on a yellow name pill color. We have the Star Wars and Attack of the Clones logo placed just above it, and then we have a very nice image of the character from the movie. This is that classic scene where the Grand Army of the Republic is loading up into ships and preparing for the Clone Wars. Really good image here, nicely placed on the card and just looking fantastic. We got the Kenner logo down below, which looks really good as well with all these warm tones of this card. So really happy to get this one into the collection. On the back, he is VC 309 in the line, the Phase 1 Clone Trooper, and there's a small blurb about the character as well as the vintage collection logo down below. And then we have another image of the card back and figure. And one thing I wanted to point out is I think this is the first time that I'm seeing a black VC number on the top corner here. It's usually white, but that's not a very good design choice when using a yellow background. So good job there, Hasbro. And circling back to the front, I just have to reiterate that this is the perfect image for this Clone Trooper release. I'm just really happy about this one, and it's going to make a really stunning addition to any carded collection. And taking a look at the figure out of the packaging, this is one that I hope you're familiar with by now because it's a huge upgrade to our clone army. We have seen some nice upgrades on this figure. The soft plastic on the armor, which does not hinder his movement at all. Just overall, the sculpting is much better. And then we have new style barbell hips, swivels at the thigh, ball jointed knees, ball jointed elbows, rocker ankles, just everything you're going to need to really make these guys look great in battle. And then of course we have the clone portrait, which looks really good. It's not too far off from the ones we've been seeing, but there is something I'll point out with that. But the one thing I do want to talk about is the helmet. So we didn't get a swappable head. We're getting the plastic helmets that, just go on like this, kind of a play feature. And as you can see, there is a bit of a problem. His chin has no protection there. So not great, Hasbro. I really would have liked to see a swappable head for this one. In terms of the sculpting and detail in the helmet, it's pretty good. It's very similar to the other one that we've seen with the Phase 1 Clone Trooper with the VC45 mold, which, we got a trooper pack of this not too long ago, but it's kind of hard to see here. You can see that the VC45 one is a bit more narrow and actually a little taller. And if you actually take that helmet and put it on this figure, it fits a little better. So I don't know why they went with a different helmet. I really don't know. It's an odd choice in my opinion, and obviously it doesn't fit very well, but something I noticed right away. Taking a look at the clone portrait, we have the old VC45 Phase 1 Clone Trooper here on the right, and then we have the new release of the Phase 1 Clone Trooper here on the left. And you can definitely tell that these are different portraits, and just the sizing of the head sculpt has changed as well. I think I still like the VC45 one. Something about it sticks out to me, maybe because we have so many releases with this figure, but yeah, both are still great head sculpts in my opinion. Now, if we bring in the last version of a Clone Trooper that we've seen in the vintage collection, which was the Phase 2 release for Andor, this is pretty much the one that they went with, although it does look a bit different here in terms of the sizing, but that just might be my eye playing tricks with me. But it would make sense for them to use this head sculpt, seeing as this is the Clone Trooper mold that they're using more and more these days. The one thing I want to point out is that if you bring in that old VC45 Phase 1 Clone Trooper helmet and put it on this new release, it fits way better because I guess it was scaled for that larger head sculpt. So I also find that odd that they went and made a new removable plastic helmet just for this release when you had a mold and a file for one that's larger and fits better. So very odd. But if you want to upgrade these figures and not have the chin stick out, that is one option you can go with. So perhaps you're thinking it's a bit of a waste to take all of your VC45 clone helmets and swap them onto this new figure just to fix something Hasbro should have gotten correct. Here you can see my Phase 1 Clone Trooper from Attack of the Clones with an updated head that looks much better in my opinion. And all I did here was use a little bit of this Gorilla Attack, and yeah, it looks much better in my opinion. To do this, all you have to do is take the Gorilla Attack, fill the helmet with it, and then simply place it on the barbell neck joint. Like so, and then there you go. You don't see any more chin and any of that nonsense. And it actually gives you a lot more range of motion for this character, and just, you know, he can tilt his head and get a bit more expressions there. You will, of course, have to use some pliers to take the barbell neck joint out of the clone portrait, but once you do that, all you got to do, fill it with some putty and place it on him. And he looks much better, doesn't have that chin sticking out the bucket anymore, and yeah, this is a much more effective and simple adjustment to make this Clone Trooper look the way it should. Here you can see a comparison of the clone armor and the white that was used for each one of these releases. On the far left we have the Phase 2 Clone Trooper from Andor, then we have the new Phase 1 Clone Troopers from Attack of the Clones in the middle, and on the far right we have the VC45 Clone Trooper body from the 4-pack release, and that one's definitely still the brightest. It pretty much goes from left to right in terms of brightness. That Phase 2 Clone Trooper from Andor was definitely an off-white, and they've corrected that, and it looks much better for this Attack of the Clones version. I really like what's going on there. The 4-pack one is still the brightest, but I think I like the new Phase 1 Clone Trooper the best. It really looks pretty good in my opinion. The other thing that I want to bring up is the rifles. So here we have the bendy plastic rifles that unfortunately we've been seeing more and more these days. And the thing that I want to point out is that I really wish Hasbro would get more consistent with these. So as you can see, it's not quite a true black. This is the one from the 4-pack Phase 1 Clone Troopers, and it's just a much darker, much more saturated black color, which I think looks better, and I would like to see them be more consistent with that type of thing. And then here is the one from the original VC45 release, and Hasbro went out of their way to give us those paint applications, which look nice. So I would really like to see Hasbro start doing that. Ensure that all blasters are a very true black color, they're consistent, and if they can, I would like to see the silver accents added. I think that's a nice touch, and it's really, something we should be seeing on these releases. An updated Clone Trooper was a must-have for many fans within the community, and Hasbro has certainly delivered with the new clone mold. The figure sports all the modern articulation the Grand Army of the Republic will need to combat any and all separatist droid invasions. New style barbell hips, ball-jointed everything, and rocker ankles allow the Phase 1 Clone Trooper to achieve a variety of action poses. Equipped with soft plastic shoulder armor that will allow for excellent range of motion, as well as a soft plastic removable helmet and clone portrait. While some fans may enjoy the benefits of a removable helmet, I will once again encourage Hasbro to only use swappable heads in the future. While this Phase 1 helmet is not terrible, it's also not great, especially when compared to previous releases. The lack of detail and coverage that allows the chin to stick out is unfortunate to say the least. While the helmet looks excellent when altered using my Gorilla Tack Quick Fix, I would really like to see Hasbro sculpt something of the same caliber as the definitive Stormtrooper we all know and love. Despite these issues, I will say that the new Phase 1 Clone Trooper is still a big improvement to the previous figure's ability to pose in battle. It will certainly be a huge upgrade to our shelf displays and dioramas. I hope you've enjoyed this video and taking a look at the Phase 1 Clone Trooper from Attack of the Clones. Feel free to let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. And don't forget to drop a like on this video and subscribe if you're new to the channel. It really helps and is always greatly appreciated. Thanks everyone, and may the Force be with you.